Mic check, 1, 2. What's good, people? There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV, signing in. I know a couple of people are going to come across this one. No doubt. Shout outs to Gary, who recommended this on the Patreon. Faith No More. Angel Dust. The full album. Plenty of material on this. We got 14 tracks ahead of us. I came across the official Faith No More playlist, and when I clicked onto it, one song was hidden. There was 13 or 14 songs, so I found this as like a separate playlist, and it's all uploaded by the band Faith No More. Just a playlisting is, you know, formed by an independent YouTube creator. So fair enough. I only know one Faith No More song. You know that one? Big stadium rocker. Is it easy? Last track. They got a tune on here called Crack Hitler. God damn. Hey, what more do I need to say? We've got plenty of music ahead of us. I might be in store for a classic. I don't know. And let's see when this album came out. Was this a 90s record? Shall we find out? London Records provided it to YouTube, but Slash Records published in 1992. Do you know what's funny? Do you know this album artwork? It doesn't look like a 90s record. Initially when I saw it, I thought it could be a 2000s record, but there's an air of 80s in there as well. This album artwork doesn't represent the 90s in my opinion. We've got plenty of credits. Let's just jump in. Land of Sunshine. Come on now. I don't know what to expect, by the way. Dog 1331 says the greatest rock album of all time. Christ Chick Autistic says the whole album is all meat, no filler. Never have to skip a song. Jamie Shawcross says the greatest album ever created. Hold on tight. You know they paid some money for this production, but this will be a remaster, won't it? This will be a remaster, no doubt. They do a cover of the Commodores. Oh, that's easy. That's easy. Easy like Sunday morning. So what's the tune I'm aware of? Is it even on this record? Oh, the tune I'm aware of is flipping... What was it called? But they're doing a Commodores album. A little bit of Richie on the end. Great song, by the way. It won't be better than the original. You can't outdo the original. No chance. But Epic it's called, isn't it? Let's find it in the related. Is it called Epic, the song I'm referencing? Yeah, Epic. Epic. How silly of me.
Yes. Now for the next question. Does emotional music have quite an effect on you? Do you feel sometimes that it is against you? Sing and rejoice and sing and rejoice. Yes. That's interesting. But tell me, do you often sing or whistle just for fun? Do you feel sometimes that it is against you? I can help you. I can help you help yourself. Does life seem worthwhile to you? Does life seem worthwhile to you? Here's how to order.
Gonna get some food a couple of songs into this record. There he goes, comatose. If that was the lyric, that's a good lyric. Right, that was a fascinating start. Because it was a showcase of great craft. But I still don't know what Faith No More sounds like after listening to that. I don't know where we can go. We got Caffeine coming up next. Let's keep on. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in, listening to Angel Dust, the full album by Faith No More. I don't know what's in store. Let's jump straight in. Sounds like Lost Prophet. It sounds like flipping Ian Watkins. He Who Must Not Be Named. This album is 1 hour, 2 minutes long. Lots of material. Said this once, I'll say it again. It's funny because you can't help but garner a little bit of engagement when you reference Ian Watkins of the Lost Prophets for obvious reasons. But that band made a great big impact in my life. I really love their music, and it's worthwhile referencing every once I can do, because it's mad. But I was living elsewhere, and I was having a late night drive. I'd gone to the gym, I think. Yeah, I must have been going to the gym, and roads were empty. I thought, you know what? Regardless of the actions of this guy, I'm going to put some Lost Prophets on. I'm going to have to put some Lost Prophets on. And it was a bleak situation. This was the last time I listened to them. I put them on. And the extremity of the guy's actions means I can't listen to the band. But let me tell you one thing. Those dudes could put together a flipping good song. those dudes could put together a flipping good song. Unbelievable craft. And it sucks so much that it's shrouded. I mean, do you know when they say separate the art from the artist? Bruh, that's like one situation where it's just impossible. I can't do that. I can't do that with that band. I can't do that with that band. But when I was younger, I adored that album, Liberation Transmission. That was what got me into the band. Yeah, unbelievable, unbelievable. It's always worth a comment when we get to speak about Ian Watkins, eh? He's locked up not too far from me, believe it or not. Why he's locked up over here and not in Wales, I don't know. Someone's got to have said he sounds like Ian Watkins, does he not?
But it's so easy for you. Yeah, there's always one thing.
Classic statement here. I don't know the politics of the band. Robert Holmes says Jim Martin was an idiot for leaving.
Do you have something to tell me?
Being in a band isn't that good. It's not that good, especially if you're at Faith No More's level, where it's all smoke and mirrors. Like, if you think it's smoke and mirrors, an independent artist pretending to be something they're not, bruh, when you sign that mainstream contract, you best hope you've written a few songs, because if you aren't getting songwriting credits, best have your job application ready for when the boss kicks you out the band, you know?
Relax. It's just a phase. You'll grow out of it. It's not
Alec Kablam says, hands down, the greatest album ever written. As to which Habib has responded with rumours. That was Caffeine. Catchy guitar riff, huh? Let's keep on moving. Interesting band. I've still not formulated an opinion of what this band actually is. Very fluid at the moment. Very formless. I'm trying to craft a shape of this band. Midlife Crisis coming up next. 7.3 million views. Must be a good one. Yes, now bless now people. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in, listening to Faith No More. The record is entitled Angel Dust, and we're already on track number 3, which is Midlife Crisis. This entire listen through goes out to my good friend Gary, who recommended this on the Patreon. Let's jump in. Oh shit, it'd be good if I had volume, yeah? '80s sound, eh? Ooh. Mike Patton. It's a name I've seen many a time before. Never been able to put Mike Patton to a band. Has it got a climb in the tune, in the numbers because of San Andreas? Regardless, this is just a better sound. It's great sound to this one. Like radio rock ready, you know? Speaking of Grand Theft Auto, do you know what's a wind-up to me? I'm not going to talk about it. Oh, grown-ass men who are just like, oh, when Grand Theft Auto's out, you're not going to see me for another year. And there's like women memes just like, I can't even remember. I can't remember because I'm not a participant in the gaming community, but yeah, I give two fucks, man. Although with that being said, we can't deny there must be an half-decent soundtrack, right? No doubt, because I've come across so many great songs just on this channel, and you look in the comments and they're just like, yeah, man, Liberty City Station number 2, man, yeah. Liberty City Hardcore, man. Let's go now, come on. Guitar solo. This guitar, boom, is what I know it from, because I only know this band from the tune Epic, and it's just like big epic stadium rock guitars, isn't it? What would you call the animal on the front? Is it a heron that we've got here? Is it a crane? More likely a heron, right? What bird would you call this? Put some respect on the synth. Come on. Fade out. That was a real upgrade on what we've been hearing on this record. That was a real upgrade. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Intriguing vocal performance. You know, great melodic front vocal, but the whole sort of, you know, growling vocal. I don't know what I think to it. RV is coming up next, track number 4. Great song that though, Midlife Crisis. Great sound to it. After the bridge, when it comes back in on the last section, very good. See you there. Yes, now bless. Now let's not get emotional, people. In between the last song and this song, I may have had a couple of sausage rolls, alright? I may have broken keto for a second to enjoy a little bit of sausage, a little bit of pastry. Continuing on, listening to Angel Dust by Faith No More. Not Faith Yes More, Faith No More. This one's entitled RV, that's Romeo Victor. Come on! Track number 4 of 14. Let me put that volume on before I press play, yeah? Should have told me. Getting a little bit tired now, people. Whether I'll get to the end of this record or not, we'll have to find out. I say that regarding today, you know. There's a lot of spoken word on this record so far. Between you and me, I like him when he sings. The spoken word bit. There's quite a bit of theatricism. Theatrical elements, you know. You know what I say. Don't bore us. Get to the chorus. Come on.
English anymore. Are they gonna tell me if I was getting stupider? I heard you talking to myself. You don't feel it after a while. You take a beating. about to guzzle no tears, so kiss my ass. Those casters and cockroaches and desserts. I heard you talking to myself. Everybody's staring at me. I'm only bleeding, yeah. Where are the kids? I don't know. They're pregnant, on drugs, and welfare, top of the world, honor roll, parole, reruns, Dodgers, and bags of mail cartons, states of no cornfields. The covers of future history books, old ladies' manuals, walking on water, nailed on crosses. I think it's time I had to talk with my kids. I just tell them what my daddy told me. You ain't never gonna amount to nothing.
That was RV. Between you and me, people, I'm bringing you into a lot of secrets here. When it comes to tunes like that, when it comes to a band like this, which have a fluid sense of boundaries, they maneuver all over the place, they write different sounding songs, it's very easy for me to perceive the band to fall into the space of filler. That was too theatrical for me, too separate for me. I don't like the spoken word at all. There's no melodicism to it. I can barely even hear what he's saying, and I'm not a guy who likes lyrical content. Neither am I a guy who likes theatrical elements in music, you know. It is what it is. I want to hear some rock music. I don't want to hear Billy Elliot twinkling away on the piano. I don't want to hear Elton John. Do you know? So that was RV. It wasn't a great tune, especially after coming from such a banger like Midlife Crisis. Midlife Crisis was a corker. I don't want to hear a guy go and ramble on a track with this upbeat sort of piano melody. Don't get me wrong, it's really good. And on the flip side, like I was in admiration of the production value and the light, brilliant sound and, you know, sound distribution over the course of that. You know, the panning of the instrumentations and how they hold their own space within the, you know, the frequency system. But, you know, you don't know what you're getting, it seems, on this record, track by track. And that one in particular, it was sort of like, we've pulled out a chocolate I don't really like that much. We've got Smaller and Smaller coming up next. Let's see whether we keep up the theme or we switch it up. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, Faith No More, Angel Dust. It might be a controversial album. It might be a controversial album because I think we're gonna bounce back and forth from highs and lows. We're gonna have to find out, but that's what we're getting so far. Smaller and Smaller is the name of this one. Track 5 of 14. Let's go. One of the baddest songs of all time, says the first Protozoan, which is, you know, using the term bad as good. Right, the polarity of all things. All right, we're talking hermetic principles on this one. From the perspective of we who do not write songs, edit even from those who do, Patton is perhaps the most prolific artist of our age. Fans of Patton, Mr. Patton, what is he on about? Did he mean to use the word prolific? Did this guy put out a load of music? I don't... Prolific? Did he mean to say that? Someone says if you go for prolific, you got to mention Buckethead, 650 mini albums, 31 studio albums, and blah de blah de blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. So Brutal Boris is sort of engaging in the conversation about being a prolific artist. He's not denying that this guy is a prolific artist, so maybe he was. Did this guy put out tons of music in his time? By the way, Buckethead and stuff like that, fucking boring. Harris Quicksilver says, I am a straight, very happily married man, and I am not attracted to men physically. But Mike's voice makes me fall in love all over again every time I hear this music. The first minute alone of this song gives me massive chills every time I hear it. Let me give some respect to you, Harris. But what was it Shakespeare says? Thou dost protest too much. I am a straight, very happily married man. And now it's this bit. And I am not attracted to men physically. Whoa! This sounds a little bit overcompensatory to me. I'm not casting judgment. Not casting judgment. And we're speaking on Mike's voice. So why are we referring to not being attracted to men physically? We're getting stuck in today, people. I'm tired. I'm sleep deprived. When am I not? I'm buzzing off of a couple of half-decent sausage rolls. All right. I am a relatively skinny man. And I would never, ever, ever eat a sausage roll, okay? But you know what? I saw that pig and I thought, I heard the oink and I thought I could take a bite out of that. But I am a vegan. Come on. In its own way, I think the production and the guitar tones, it's a little bit Dream Theater-esque. That guitar tone is a little as to what I've heard Mr. Petrucci, you know, mess around with in his time. Arturo Baron says, I listen to this while I'm on my dating app. It kind of sets the mood for total failure. One reply. I reckon this record was originally 12 songs because track number 13, it says Midnight Cowboy, theme from Midnight Cowboy, whatever that is. And then the last one's Easy, which is a cover song, isn't it? So I assume, unless it was a 10-track record and there's 4 additional on this re-release, if it is a re-release, I reckon we probably have 12 tracks on the original recordings, you know. More than likely 12 songs, I think. Reasonable tune. It was definitely a way big step up from RV, which I didn't think much of. This is you know what I expect of the band. This was pretty good. If anything, it was actually the band, when they're playing a bit of rock and roll, at times they're coming across a little more heavier, a little more abrasive than what I thought Faith No More would. I thought it'd generally be stadium rocking music, you know, but there's an air of heaviness to it, you know, in a more metal-esque sense, which I really didn't expect. But yeah, that was a cool song. Cool guitar tones, cool guitar work. Like, I think the guitar work was the most important part of that. Obviously, you got your bridge section, you know, with your cultural stuff going, and I can't comment on that. I don't know what I heard, but yeah, we got Everything's Ruined coming up next. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in. We're listening to Faith No More, Angel Dust. So far, this record, you don't know what's coming next, which is a great show of creativity. Everything's Ruined is the title of this one. Let's go. This record's devoted to my friend Gary, who recommended this on Patreon. Back on the keys. Come on now, people. So that Cro-Mags. We got Flea on the bass or something. Yeah! Yeah! Decent, decent. Everything's ruined. Not a bad tune. Not a bad tune. Not a bad tune. What more needs to be said? Cool groove to it. Quite an enigmatic tune with the movement and the tonality of the bass guitar in relation to the, you know, the West End pianos, the singer-songwriter twinkle of the pianos there. Malpractice is coming up next. It's going to be track number 7. See you there. Yes, now, bless now. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in. Gas me up, gas me up. We're listening to Faith No More, also known as Faith No Less, or Faith on Aram, or FF on Aram, with the album Angel Dust, not to be confused with Angel Custard. I swear there's a product called that, something like that, isn't there? Angel Delight. Don't get me gassed. I'm delirious today, people. I'm tired as hell, which should serve as, you know, an entertaining run through at this point. So between the last song we listened to and this song, I'd say there's a couple of hours in between, and we don't stop rocking and rolling. Got my cuppa. Do you know what? I ain't got around to doing it. I'm looking at sorting out a little mug with the King of the Pit logo on it. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be nice. Why the hell not? I drink enough coffee whilst I'm doing this. but I'm on my best behaviour. We're wide awake. We're working. We're sober. Bruh, I'm doing my best, alright? I'm trying to be healthy. Malpractices track number 7. All you Faith No More fans out there probably saying, shut the fuck up, alright? Get to the track, you bloody idiot. And here we are. This is track 7 of 14. Like it or lump it. Yo home. Anyone on social media ever get them videos of like people out at sea in the middle of the ocean and there's like crazy waves and stuff, and then there's like some, I don't know what it would be, just backing vocals. Yo home. If you know, you do know. Heavy riff. This is heaviest song on the record so far. Surprisingly heavy. Bro, I saw a dude getting tased the other day. A couple of days ago, I hear shouting outside the window. What the fuck's going on? I look out. Well, initially, hear a car fly by whilst I'm just jamming out, doing my thing. Police car chasing straight after. I think, fucking hell. Let them get out of the way before I do my thing. Maybe about 30, 40, 50 seconds later. Shouting, screaming. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I better see what this is before it's too late. I'm trying to open this window, desperate, so I can have a peek around. Managed to do it. Guy's there on the floor. Officer. Big taser. We got Tweedledee in his high-vis jacket, the second officer, trying to catch up to the scene. It was an emotional time. It was an emotional time. It's just the way it is, people. I advocate legal activities. Don't ever do anything that could be deemed inappropriate within the eyes of the law, because it's very bad and you can get in trouble. Okay? And I would know because I live in England. And over here in England, you will get in trouble for flicking a bogey on the street, trust me. I'm getting out of this place. Lovely twinkle. Lovely contrast between the harsh feedback and the twinkle here. What is that? Great production. That'll wake me up. Not a bad tune. Not a bad tune. It's not the stadium rocking stuff I thought I would be getting like on every track on this record initially, prior to not knowing much about Faith No More. But you know what? Arguably, I like that sound a little bit better than the, you know, theatrical stuff with the plinky plonky pianos and the spoken word. Those riffs were actually pretty bloody heavy, like quite literally quite heavy. And well, I say literally, not literally. I wasn't, you know, suppressed by the weight of that riffage, but I was actually quite elevated by it, quite buoyant by it. All right, but that was quite good. Yeah, quite good indeed. We got Kindergarten coming up next. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV signing up, listening to Faith No More, not to be mistaken for the band Belief No More. Not to be mistaken for the band Anybody seen anybody seen the film Kindergarten Cop? I saw it back in the day when I was younger, like once. And it just seemed like such a shit film up until the end where there's a little bit of action. Other than that, it was just a drag from what I remember. Do you know what's a good film? American Pie 2. And on that note, this is track 8 of 14 on Angel Dust. We're listening to Faith No More. Let's go. Because I can mention it, I will go back on the vocal. I've already reset it. Whilst we can have a discussion. It's been a minute since I got onto recording albums. It must have been it's at least a week since I did last recordings, at least. And probably more. I've not been able to engage with no one about the shooting in Utah. It was in Utah, right? When a political spokesperson got taken down. What a bizarre situation. In this day and age, I don't really want to go out of my way to talk too much about stuff, you know? I want to keep it lighthearted to the best of my capabilities. But when initially there was that attempt on Trump, right, which I read somewhere that I won't talk about it, but that was an odd situation, right? A bit questionable. But I thought, well, let's say it was the real deal and somebody did try to put a hit on it. The intention was to traumatize the world by seeing this presidential candidate get his head blown up before the world. Because we can talk about oh, it's sad and oh, it's this, that, and the third, right? And we can try brush it off, but the reality of it is the emotional turmoil that is provoked by putting that before you, that shock of seeing one's life rid of whom you've essentially become familiar with, right? You know this person better than maybe your friend, you know, to some degree, you know what I mean? Is very bold name. It would be quite spiritually harmful to see that if that was the case. And then anyway, so far on from that situation, we literally do have a guy shot in the neck. Before the world, and the social media algorithm. Bruh, I was at an art gallery and I tried to upload a photo, and one of the paintings in the background was of a woman with her breasts out. And it was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. We can't upload that. We can't allow you to post this. But within seconds of this situation happening, I'm being force-fed via the algorithm a murder, a guy bleeding out after getting shot in the neck. What? Is that not absurd? The kid who they said did it. Yeah. It's all a bit weird, isn't it? I've not gone out of my way to sort of look into the fine detail, but yeah. It's a crazy time to be alive. I've spoken to a few older people, you know, who've had a couple of decades on me, at least. And they're saying, at least in England, you know, general politics, yes, as well, but at least in England, they say, I don't remember things ever been this bad. You know, the amount of division and emotional stress they're sort of loading onto us at this point is wild. Absolutely wild, man. And I try my best to stay out of it, you know. I'm optionally trying to opt out. But it's not fucking easy. I don't own the TV. I don't spend my time engaging with many people online and stuff. I like talking to you lot and listening to music, but I don't sit there going back and forth and sending things back and forth to people and all of that. Keep myself to myself generally. And it's like, what the fuck? Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Prior to that is that young girl getting killed in America on the coach or the train or the tram or whatever, which was disgraceful, you know. So you're getting pulled in one direction with that, then you're getting pulled in another direction by the other thing. Meanwhile, you're getting force-fed, starving, dying kids over in the Middle East. The hell? And let's not even talk about the protests and whatnot that's going on over here, which is just a political ploy to usher in, you know, a solution to the problem, which is no good, you know. whilst I'm ranting and raving, why the hell not? I said I wasn't gonna, but welcome to my world. I went to a museum recent. You know, I won't say what sort of museum, but I went to a museum to see what was going on. Been wanting to get there for a while and I managed. And I walk around a couple of particular documentations, you know, in this museum. And this is a mainstream museum, attracts a lot of attention, and the information that was provided was incorrect, harmfully incorrect. And of course that's because it is the mainstream narrative, but the curators of said museum, given that they were presenting a museum, you would think how disgusting it is to present information that isn't the truth. You know? What can you believe in anymore, people? What can you believe in? It was the Teletubbies Museum. I do like them harmonics there. We had them on the intro of this tune. They sound really clean. They're great register, great production on them. I love to do this as well. I like to give the producer props because it goes above and beyond it actually being the band and the writing and the composition. The producer and the sound engineer and whatnot need to really translate the sound well on the record. So even though, you know, generally I think screw the production. Well, not screw the production, but screw the producer, you know. It's like, you know, you got paid. Keep your name off of the record, who cares? You know what I mean? Stop trying to take credit for the band stuff. You did a good job because you got paid well, right? Trust me, these producers aren't cheap. Faith No More, well, the record label, who put this out? Slash Records initially, which I don't know whom that is. It must be a subsidiary of a mainstream label because this just does not sound... This is not an independent record. This cannot be an independent record. But I'm not familiar with Slash Records, but we got assistant engineer Adam Munoz, Craig Dubé, mixing engineer David Bryson, Gibbs Chapman as an engineer. Like when... It's crazy to me. The moment you get like... You've got like 4 flipping engineers, 2 mixing engineers. You don't need it, man. You need a nice producer with a good ear. And have him and his best mate who does mastering and they're in cahoots together. And they recommend each other and make money together. But do a good job and have a good working relationship because of that, because they trust each other. And that sound engineer knows, I've done a decent job here. My name's on the line. My reputation's on the line here. I can either lose money or make money with this project. My mastering guy needs to be flipping good. Otherwise, I'm not going to use him or recommend him because he's going to make my product sound shit. right? So they've got an actual functional relationship as far as the product is concerned. What's better than that? Why do we need 2 mixing engineers credited on the... It should be about the band. It should be about the writers in the band. And then you should just have produced by so-and-so, recorded by so-and-so, mixed by so-and-so. But the moment you sign a major label, it's just like, it's crazy. There's about 20 names on the record and half of them have probably done fuck all. I know dudes who have gone to sign half-decent records underneath the umbrellas of majors, and now suddenly everyone's their friend. All of these great writers, all of these great instrumentalists, saying no names, they're all best friends now. Didn't give a flying hoot before. But now there's an up-and-coming artist that's been signed to a major that has the potential of being put out with a decent budget by this label. Now everyone's in the studio, you know, giving them a helping hand. And these artists are just like, oh my God, I can't believe I've worked with so-and-so. Well, yeah, because they want credit on that record and they want to get paid off of the back of that record. You're being used and abused as a vehicle to make money. You've been pimped. It's a bizarre world, man. The mechanics of it. I've met a couple of cool people recently. Sorry, I'm ranting and raving, but we're talking music here, and these are the thoughts that come to mind when, you know, we explore these musical projects and whatnot. I met someone who's into merchandise. In particular, manages a merchandising team recent. In person, believe it or not. Can you believe it? I'm not just an online entity. I met a couple of people who work on the same team, but one of them was the manager, and work in large venues. Billie Eilish, Drake and whatnot coming along. So as far as pop music is concerned, you know, where do you go from there? And bro, I'm saying, like, because to me the idea of this is ridiculous and it's still a new concept to me, but it's been in effect for so long now. I say, all right, so you're managing the merchandise team, and they say that the team is left on them, and I'm saying, well, can't they just turn up with their own merch guy and stuff like that? No, we have to deal with the merch. Right. So you're getting a cut off of the merchandising, the venue's getting a cut off of the merchandising. Yeah. And I understand, you know, when you're a big, large-scale pop star and whatnot, but if you're a support act underneath that mainstream act, you've got no creative right the moment you sign that label. You might be getting shelved. Label might not want to put your record out because your first album might have flopped. You might not be creating the momentum necessary. And now you can't even make money off of the merchandising because the venue's taking money off of the sales of the merchandise, even though you're performing in an arena of 10,000 flipping people, if not more. I don't say this to be a rant and a rave, because the artist needs to learn about intellectual property and monetize themselves as a brand and reach out like an octopus into these different spaces. But artists don't do that. They just want to be known. They want to be seen. They want to be acknowledged, validated for themselves, and that's the projection of the ego via the vehicle of music to the people, which is forced upon the people by the machine once you get put in position to have the machine behind you, right? It's all an illusion. And I know I don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, people. I'm just making all of this up. I really don't know what I'm talking about. But then you get put in position to garner that, everything apart from actual resource for your value. Because those who know the game know who you are, and the artist is used and abused for their want of being seen for a change. They're odd people, they're creative people. People who may have been isolated and so found expression through creative arts as opposed to socialization and your general means of doing things. And now they're being pimped by these people. I hate it. I hate it. But then again, I don't really know how it works. I'm making it all up. For any independent artists out there, if you want to know how to really make money as a musician, what you do is you perform at your local events, right? You have a couple of fellas who are nice, and up front at the entryway, there's going to be a door guy, right? Probably not a security if you're performing in like punk acts, metal acts and so forth. You know, you'll just have the promoter or promoter's friend up on the door, chilling out behind the table. There'll be a little box on that table, yeah? Don't worry about what's inside it. Just get on the phone to your friend, say I'll go 2080 with you. If you're passing by the venue, just grab that box off the table and run with it, alright? That's how you make money. I don't advocate for that. I'm actually going to drop some real gems on the next track. I'm not going to continue talking through this one, but if you join me on Be Aggressive, if you want to know how to really hack the system, I will give you some game on that next one. So if you are a musician, or if you want to know how to actually make money as a musician through the smart ways you can, please, if I remember, hold on to the next track, yeah? Prominent bass line, eh? Prominent bass line, eh? Right, let's keep on moving.
Wondered why you are the way you are.
Be Aggressive coming up next, but that tune, Kindergarten, was alright. Want a bad tune? Like the guitar work. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of Pit TV, signing in. We're ranting and raving. We're talking music. We're talking imaginary situations. I'm pretending I've got friends and know people. I don't. I ain't got one friend. Well, I got Gary. My man Gary's recommended this record on the Patreon. One love, Gary. I'm going delusional, so I'm chatting a lot of shit at this point. Just enjoying the day ahead. Alright, I might even jump into a little bit of another record after this one. I didn't think I'd get through this album today, but I think I might do. Track 9 and 14 is entitled Be Aggressive. I was going to speak to the musicians out there, or at least the songwriters, give you a little bit of game, and I can make a couple of quid. Let's just jump into this. I want to suck your blood. I've been reading about a woman called Helena Blavatsky recent. Anybody know her?
I swallow
I really like that. I like that. This is quite a good one, actually, because I've got a couple of comments to make. First one is this comment here. Jesse McDonald says, I love how Patton had no problem singing this, which are Roddy's lyrics. Graphic, gay pornish, and it's fine. They do this live all the time and kill it. Roddy yells instead of the group of girls, and it's an anthem. So I just thought I'd make a comment of that. I thought that was quite fascinating as far as like graphic gay pornish is. I haven't picked up on it yet. But as far as the music is concerned, that female vocal line was very good. The groove's very good. This is really good so far. And if you're joining me, I said on the last track I'd give you a little bit of game. If a venue is licensed to play music, right? So if it's a business and it's licensed with a performing rights society, right? If you're a musician, you should be able to know this. But as a business owner, I'll speak to you as well. You know, if you want to own a business or if you want to be in a public space and whatnot, you have to pay the cost of being able to legally play music within your premise, or at least copyrighted music, right? So even if it comes to playing the radio, and this is a mad thing, right? Let's say I work at home, I'm self-employed and I work at home in my own house. The moment I declare that, and the moment the authorities know that that's the case, if, let's say, someone who works for one of these performance rights organizations passes by my window and hears I'm listening to the radio, I could get a knock at the door. Hello, you work here, right? You're self-employed. Yeah. Well, do you have a license to be able to play that music in your premise? Because these organizations look to monetize and profit off of the exploitation of the intellectual property of the artist, in benefit of the artist, because this is how you as an artist makes money that no other artist knows, because they just want to create. They don't want to learn about law and IP and copyright and all this and that. They don't get that. But let's say you go to McDonald's, there's music playing. On the window, on the main door, there's probably a sticker saying we are certified with a particular performing rights society. Over here it's the PRS. In America and whatnot, you'll have like a couple of groups. You've got BMI. I think it's BMI, unless BMI is a label and I'm getting it confused with Performing Rights Society, but you know, so on and so forth. And generally it could just be a venue. So let's say it's a coffee shop, yeah, but they have open mic nights on at night. You could turn up there, right, hypothetically, with an acoustic guitar, and if you've got your own original songs, right, and you're signed up to one of these performing rights societies, which is like one-time payment of, over here you're paying, it might have gone up now, 150 quid to become a member of the society, and then that's it. You can just turn up with your guitar, non-asked. Well, people, you know, tell you other things, but you can turn up with your guitar, play your songs, and considering they're licensed and pay a fee to have the right for artists to come and pay their songs, their money goes into a big pot in this society where most musicians who perform at events don't know their rights, so they never claim from this pot, but there's a big pot of money. And I'm giving you game here. This is serious business. I'm giving you good game here. So the big pot of money nobody touches, and if nobody touches it, guess where it goes? It goes to Taylor Swift, it goes to Ed Sheeran, it goes to the big earners. So you're screwing yourself out. It's not just sitting there. It don't go to charity. It makes the rich richer, duh. So you go to this coffee shop that has an open mic night on Thursday, but you turn up on Wednesday. People are chilling out, doing blah blah. You just hum your tune, sing it, twinkle around on your guitar in the side of the room. Don't cause no trouble. Go through 5 of your songs. And hypothetically, I'm not saying you should do this because I don't know whether I'm right or wrong, but you can make a claim that you've performed at that venue at that particular time and, you know, quarter annually, maybe make a couple of quid. But I've not done that. I just know that you need to be clued up on the legal side of things, because it's those who know how to utilize and stretch their songwriting credits that make a lot of fucking money in this game. Honestly, that's where the money is, writing the songs. If you don't write the songs, you're fucked. If you're in a band and you play the drums, you're fucked financially, unless you're getting some side gigs and, you know what I mean, becoming famous as a brand outside of that. If you just want to be a famous drummer and you perform in Dave's band and Dave is a superstar and now you're playing big events and getting paid off of the events, the moment you get kicked out of the band, you're fucked. And the moment you start making serious money and you realise Dave's driving a Bentley now and you're still stuck in whatever you're stuck in, it all becomes realistic, yeah? But a band will start a band and not care about that sort of stuff, because who wants to start a band and write songs with a bunch of dudes and start talking about, you know, when they become millionaires in 5 years' time? Bands don't do that, and they're all best friends when they start. But when money starts coming in, those who have written the songs, trust me, that's where you want to be. It's the Noel Gallagher, Liam Gallagher situation. Noel Gallagher's got 100% credits on most of the Oasis stuff. Who do you think gets the money? Liam Gallagher, let's say they were still arguing, right? Liam Gallagher will go, out of spite, do his cover of Oasis songs, performing Oasis songs with as an independent artist with his backing band and whatnot. Noel Gallagher's claiming off of that shit. Noel sits at home, sees his intellectual property being performed at these fucking large venues. Easy payday. That's money in the bank.
You're my flavor of the week. I swallow, I swallow, I swallow,
And while I'm being here, if there's any local venues, right, around your area that you perform at or want to perform at or is putting events on, and they're not licensed with a performing rights society, if they're not paying the fee to legally do it, fucking grass on them. Fuck the local music scene up. Fuck the local music community up. The thing is, right, they might be giving you airtime, putting you on their stage, but they're not paying the societies that's going to pay you for performing your songs. They're being cheap and fucking the artists over. So, you know, I'm an artist and I'm for the artist before a business person. Be a scumbag. Kill off your local punk rock scene. Yeah? Grass on all the venues. Be aggressive. Fun fact, keyboardist Roddy Bottom wrote the lyrics to this song and made them gay as possible just to see if Mike Patton would sing them. Someone says, I didn't even click onto it. The keyboardist's surname is Bottom, so that's pretty good. I mean, this is kind of mad. I didn't clock onto this. I just thought they sounded like, you know, young ladies. Melissa says the brilliance of this song is that it's got children singing the chorus and it's about bad acts. Faith No More has been one of the best bands ever. Real talk, if they're like literal children singing that, and this is like, I've not paid too much attention about the lyrical content, but if it is like overt, crass, hypersexualized lyrics, I don't agree with incorporating children into the mix ever. I'd never want them to you just don't need them entwining, do you really? But let's have a look at the responses here. Yeah, Courageous Little says, doesn't sound like children at all. Sounds like a college cheerleading scene, just like it should. Yeah, I agree with that. And someone says it's a sample, perhaps.
Tall and reckless, ugly seeming, shall I show you filthy bird? That's all I need. This empty pit, I've got to feed to prove I'm fit to healthy man. I've got to be. Malnutrition, my submission. You're the master, and I'll take it on my knees. Ejaculation, tribulation. I swallow, I swallow, I swallow, I swallow.
That cheerleading, whether it be a sample, I could see it being a sample at this point, or being like recorded in studio. I think that's one of the highlights on this record. I think it's very catchy. I think it's a great contrast to the general, vocal performance of Mr. Patton. And I just generally think that tune was half decent. I didn't really go into so much depth with the lyrics, so maybe if I read the lyric, I'd be like, you're sort of being a bit too much here, but I didn't hear it. I heard the bridge section near the end with the swallow stuff and all this. That was the only insight I had to the lyrical content, but I thought that was pretty good. I like that one. That was one of my favourites. A Small Victory's coming up next, track number 10. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in, listening to Faith No More, Angel Dust. Track 10 is entitled A Small Victory. Let's just jump in, shall we? Today's theme is ruining your local music scene and community, alright? You know what we support over here? We support complete demolishment of everyone's fun. Yeah, no more entertainment. We don't need it no more, right? Let's continue. I'm telling stories today, alright? There's some local law around here. There was an American old school hardcore band, like a first wave. Well, I say first wave. It may as well have been first wave US hardcore band who were as prominent as ever, historical figures, and they haven't lost momentum as time has gone by. They're one of the few groups that haven't got boring with age. And they came over and performed a few years back. And the promoter sort of didn't do a great job with the money that was owed. And their manager knocked the promoter out. Come on now. This is what we want. I love it when a promoter doesn't abide by a deal and gets fucked up. And there's so many bad promoters out there. Do you know how many promoters in punk rock and metal independent music I've had the fortune of experiencing, being a punter, being a spectator at events? Thank the Lord I've never had to run into bad business really in this realm. Just by chance that the events I did play, it wasn't that bad. But how many promoters haven't made money on the door and they've run off, or they've spent the money on drugs? There was a 2-day festival over here about a decade back, and they put on some established names, headline from a couple of Europe bands. Day 2, promoters disappeared. They've disappeared. They spent the money on cocaine on the first night. They can't pay the bands no more. They disappeared off the face of planet Earth. Now that's the best element of independent music. Always happens with the festivals. Always happens with the festivals. If a promoter's going to get beaten up, it's going to be at an all-day, if not a 2-day festival they've put on with a ton of bands. Too much business. Fuck themselves over, you know? I love it. This might be the first harmony we've heard on the record. Great vocal. Hear them hoops. It was like we're listening to the Mud Sharks again. I've seen that they covered War Pigs on another record as well. I don't like anyone covering War Pigs. The original is a classic. You can never outdo the original. And so many bands cover War Pigs. I've seen so many acts cover War Pigs, man. Very basic cover. Great samples. Great keys. Fantastic cooperation between the keys and the vocal line. Da, 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 da. Love that bit. Love that bit. Ba, ba. Metal. This guy says this is the best song in the history of music, and I don't care if you're a Czechoslovakian nun or a Bobcat tractor, you'll be helped by it. Hey? Each to their own. Between You and Me, though, one of the best songs of all time, which might just edge on this song, is 99 Luft Balloons. Maybe Walking on Sunshine as well. You know, that's a hard one to beat, isn't it? Enrique Iglesias, Hero. Sweet Child of Mine.
At one the constant pitch, at one the constant rhythm, right into your ear. You still won't hear. 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 You still won't hear.
That was a good tune. That was a good tune. We've actually had quite a revitalizing section on this album for the past so many songs. That was really good. The vocal harmonies were fantastic. Just the environment and the soundscape of that one, I really enjoyed. The samples were good. Yeah, awesome. We got Crack Hitler coming up next. Cool. Yes, now blessed now, people. Don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Crack Hitler. What a title, eh? Track 11 of 14 on Angel Dust by Faith No More is entitled that. Let's jump in, shall we? Hope everybody's doing well today. This is crazy. So we're going to hear a feminine voice in the intro. A famous Brazilian announcer. She sued the band for non-authorized use of her voice, but failed to win. That must be a my lawyer versus your lawyer sort of situation. How can somebody use your voice, your likeness on record and get away with it, you know? Let's have a listen to what goes on. Is that James Bond? Classic. Someone says this album still sounds like the future of music, and someone responded saying the future of music is pissed off Hispanic kids bombing the internet with AI generated death metal. And then someone responded to that with racism is the future of music. What's racist about what he said? Is the word Hispanic racist? Am I missing something here? I hate that. It's gay as fuck, mate. Oh, people who are so dead set on virtue signaling and get triggered at anything and have to put themselves out there as like the biggest social justice warrior ever. It's just overcompensation. It's to hide the duality, the polarity of things. You're so outward because inward you're something else, you know? Shout out to Big Pun, says this song has a James Bond feel to it. What did I say? Come on now. I speak for the people. I was actually so lost in the comments, I missed the actual sample. So thing being, if she had recorded this, like, was this a Rio de Janeiro sample, like taken from a sample that the airport uses, as opposed to just like her saying something? Because that'll be why there'll be a discrepancy with the legal thing, right? Either that was a pain in the ass because it said she gave him a lawsuit that ended up giving up on it. It is true though. If there was a great record, let's say Nirvana puts out Nevermind, and then like your voice is sampled on it, bruh, why the hell not? Get straight on the phone to the solicitor. Give me my money. You know what I mean? Give me my money. And speaking of Nevermind, at this point, why does nobody bring up that there's a naked child on the front? Is that not a bit mad? Why does nobody talk about that? That is mad, isn't it? Because I was just thinking the child grew up and tried to get some money off of him, didn't he? Everyone's giving props to Iris. Someone says if regular Hitler was bad, just imagine what crack Hitler would do. Sounds a bit like a Jeremy Kyle theme. Heavy. That was a crack Hitler. It was definitely a toe tapper. It was a toe tapper. But this record and this song being identified as one has a way of, to me, putting a fair few songs on that just feel like filler, you know? It's just sort of formless. And I say that in due respect of their talent and musicianship, you know, they do have a craft and they are good at what they do to create this formless entity from time to time, but, you know, it's not strict and stable enough for a fella like me. We got a crazy title song coming up next. If you thought Crack Hitler was something, we got Jizz Lobber coming up next. Catch you there. Yes, now Bless, now Des Rocksteady, a little bit dishevelled. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. King of the Pit TV, Angel Dust. Track 12 of 14 on Faith No More's record is entitled Jizz Lobber. What? 6 minutes 38 makes it the longest track on the record. Without further ado, let's jump in. Feet first. Lego! Ribbit, Ribbit. Probably the most original and badass album in modern history, says Josh W. Jim Martin's final song. So somebody mentioned that this album was so incredibly ahead of its time, and someone in the replies references Neurosis. I've heard on numerous occasions that Neurosis is like one of the heaviest bands ever, but when I've checked out Neurosis briefly, heavy wouldn't be the word I'd use. Am I missing out? This guy says, if your girl don't like this, leave her now. That's a bold statement. Why are you saying that? What? One responds, well, at least she into the effing Chili Peppers. Bruh. You don't want a girl who's into music. Not to an autistic degree. You want a nice simple bird who enjoys the simple things in life, behaves well, gives you peace, yeah? If your missus is into Faith No More, she's gonna give you an headache, I'll tell you that much. There we go. Jen loves horror. Met my husband in 93. We still love this song. There you go. So there, Jen, you've got the utmost respect in this comment section from OU812. He believes you're worthy to stay with. He believes you're worthy to stay with, don't worry. Bum bum. Heavy. Pale Pale John says they invented new metal with this song. And Bit of Triumph says it's miles better than anything new metal ever produced. Let me tell you what. Not much can beat Limp Bizkit's Break stuff. Let's be real. Let's be real. Dun dun. They should have turned these organs down a bit on the volume. Way louder than the actual, you know, heavy distorted guitars. If this was on like your CD player and it was blasting, it'd be too loud. So that was cool. That was a good tune. That was a good use of it being the longest track on the record. You know, the tempo suited it. Yeah, people referencing it was heavy in the comments. I don't disagree. Decent tune. The theme from Midnight Cowboy coming up. There's Rocksteady King of the Pit TV signing in. Looking forward to sleep. Track 13 and 14 on the Angel Dust record by Faith No More is entitled The Theme from Midnight Cowboy. Shall we find out what the hell Midnight Cowboy is? This entire list through goes out to my good friend Gary, who recommended this on the Patreon. Let's go. People are strange. This is a cover. So we've got 2 covers to finish. John Barry. From the score of Midnight Cowboy, the film. I hate it when there's covers that I'm unaware of because I can't really comment too much on how much justice they give it, you know. Chris Howard says, I'll never forget they opened with this beautiful piece at Festival Hall Melbourne in 97. I remember falling in love that night with a beautiful redhead called Angela who was working on the merchandise stand. Every time I hear this, I think of her. Do you know what Angela did? Do you know what Angela did? Angela gave him a smile and commented on his t-shirt or his hair or his tattoos to sell him merchandise. Angela ran game on this guy. She said, oh, hello. Wow, do you go to the gym? And he thought, oh my God. Oh, what's your name? Angela. Do you want to buy a t-shirt? That's exactly what happened, trust me. Trust me. I know that because I know that game. I've had that game run on me before. Someone said, Angela Bennett. Countdown to Extinction came out in the same year. I thought this was a 94 record. Apparently this was on Slime Rancher. I assume it was a game on Newgrounds because someone down below has also said first heard this in a Flash movie on Newgrounds. Silent Revolution soundtrack, says Harry Flashman. That was a nice tune. That was a nice tune. Of course, all credits to the original. What can I say? But Faith No More did a good job of doing a good rendition of it because I enjoyed what I heard. Let's finish this record off with Easy, yeah? See you there. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in and signing out of the last track on Angel Dust. This has been thrown on as an additional track to the reissue. Also, the comment says it's not a surprise. Easy, which I think is a Commodore's cover, 9.5 million views, so a big spike in it. Easy, if it is a Commodore's cover, is arguably one of the best songs of all time. I really like the song. They're not going to do it better than the original. No chance. But I am interested to hear what they can do. Let's finish this record off, yeah? I am interested to hear what they can do with this one, because this is a great number.
No, it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain.
Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Da 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 da.
Seems to me
One of my favourite lines coming from this guy. Why in the hell would anybody put chains on me?
girl, you know I done all I can. You see a big store
And I borrow.
yeah. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I wanna be high, so high.
Did they miss the second verse?
I wanna be free to know the things I do alright. I wanna be free, just me. Oh, baby.
Ooh! I wonder if it was Lionel Richie who actually wrote this or if it was Ghost written by someone. We got writer Lionel Richie. Easy like Sunday morning. I'm glad they credited it, because who were we listening to? It might have been Weezer or something. And they did a cover, Unbreak My Heart. Or was it Weezer? I definitely know they did a cover of Unbreak My Heart, what we listened to recently. But they didn't credit the original writer and had the actual singer of the band on the credits. And that's not good. That's not good. Tony Braxton. Okay, so put some respect on them for, abbreviating the song a little bit, cutting a little bit of substance out just to, get to the point. Come on, let's just get the song over and done with. It's a cover, it's not your own. Don't outstay your welcome. But they did, in doing so, leave out my favourite bit of the song, my favourite line that I referenced. So that sucks. But it's crazy. Because in Faith No More's original penned material, there's so much disguising of the vocal through effects and performance elements. That was a showcase of how good a singer the dude actually is. Fantastic singer. And indirectly, perhaps it just shows you how good a song Easy is. I'll leave that there. I thought that was a good cover. It wasn't the original. It was a very good cover though. They didn't do a bad job at all. I'm going to do one last video. I'll rate this album out of 10. I'll give you my final overview. Yes now, bless now. Don't forget the rest now. Des Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in. I'm going to make this a brief one, alright? Because I'm tired and I want to get off. Not in that way, but I want to get off of the internet for a moment, alright? So actually quite the opposite. If you catch my drift. Angel Dust, Faith No More. It was a recommendation on the Patreon by my good friend Gary. The 90s connoisseur. The man, the legend. Had a couple of records off of Gary as of recent. I'm going to polish off another one for him next. We had some ska numbers and now we got some... I'd call this rock music for the sake of it. A lot of different influences, a lot of different elements. Very varied act. But it's a rock band in my opinion. 14 tracks. Perhaps 13 on the original recording. Easy being thrown onto a reissue. Makes sense. It wouldn't surprise me if it was a remaster we listened to. It doesn't state that it is, but it sounds flipping brilliant for a 90s record. And I know it'd sound good anyway, because why not? Why not? You know, if the label wants to invest, the label will invest. You were getting great sounding records in the 90s, weren't you? So, you know, it's not impossible. But this was a great sounding record. It was a modern sounding record as far as the polish was concerned. So I reckon it was a remaster with the reissue with Easy on. I came into this thinking this is going to be a hit or miss because I only had heard Epic from another record. And I thought Epic was a good song. I thought it was a really good song. So I thought I'm going to get like a full album full of stadium rock hits, or at least attempts of pertaining to that degree. We didn't. We had a great varied record. Too varied for me. When this band want to put a good song together, they put a really good song together. Especially in relationship with the sound engineering. They can put together a fantastic track. But the variation and the spectrum of sound creates some jarring moments that I don't necessarily agree with. Because I like bare minimum, basic music. And when you can abide by the foundation and the formula and add your own twist onto it and make it consistent, I fall in love with that band. But when you're sort of all over the place trying different things, being experimental, and you produce a record of great creativity but not necessarily much uniform, I find it incredibly hard to enjoy them records. A lot of material on the record. 1 hour 2 minutes to be precise of material on this. You get your money's worth. The writing was good. It wasn't great. Structurally speaking, it was a little too freeform. It was a little too all over the place, you know? Even though you're not abiding by particular song structures if you don't want to, I still want some degree of skeleton to the songs. What I was hearing on a lot of them was just sort of like sections for section's sake, and it wasn't cohesive. On the first couple of tracks, people are commenting in the comment section saying best album of all time, so on and so forth. I can see why people would definitely fall in love with this record. I think this is an acquired taste record, so if you listen to it a few times, you're going to really start to get along with your favourite moments. My first time through this record, nah, I don't really get along with it too much. Guy, Mr. Patton, fantastic voice. He hides it behind the spoken wordy bits and the distorted vocals and stuff. Hides the quality of his vocal performance. Because on Easy, the cover song at the end, the clarity of the voice wow, really the value of that really allows his genuine talent and great vocal to shine. And I wish that was the general sound of the vocal across the record. Guitar lines were okay. We were quite heavy in some places. I would argue that the bass guitar sort of stole the show as far as guitars were concerned. Great guitar tone as far as the bass guitar is concerned. Worked really well. Some good grooves. Some Rage Against the Machine-esque bits. Some Red Hot Chili Pepper-esque bits. Which, you know, as we continue listening to 90s music, it's hard to find popular bands or bands that have done half decent that don't have a bit of the Chili's in. I'm starting to find rock-based bands at least. I rate this record a 6 out of 10. There's a lot of material I didn't really get along with. What more needs to be said? On that note, I'm signing out. Peace.